I'm Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinny podcast.
This episode is sponsored by Fit with Holly.
Holly is a fit babe helping people achieve their fitness goals in a judgment-free zone.
After going through her own fitness journey, Holly decided to start helping others on their health-focused fitness paths.
Whether you're a fitness junkie or have no idea where to start in the gym, Holly is here to help you achieve your health and fitness goals.
For one-on-one coaching or to be inspired by a kind-hearted, funny, realistic fitness baddie, follow Holly on Instagram at fit.with.holly.a.
Stop. Okay. Hey. So we're
time traveling today.
Time traveling because I will be in Costa Rica right now and you can all hate me. That's fine.
I definitely am. I was going to say like a little bit jealous, but I'd be lying.
Like you're a lot jealous?
Oh, big jealous. 100%.
I was like, you're not jealous? I don't know.
No, because today is what, Thursday? It has dumped a whole bunch of snow on us, so you could not be leaving at a better time.
For a while, I was like, oh, it's so nice. Why are we even going away? So the snow coming, I'm like, yeah, we're going away. So excited. We haven't been away together, Jen and I, to test our relationship when we first started dating. We went to New Zealand together for a month.
That's a hell of a way. And a long time.
And we had been dating 6 months. And we went away together for a month.
That's ballsy.
Almost broke up. Well, she thought we were breaking up on a hike. We were doing like a 3-day, 2-night hike. And I made a comment that we're not good at communicating. And she was like, are you breaking up with me? I was like, no.
But we just need to work on communicating.
We're not good at communicating.
That's okay.
Still working on it 4 years later.
I mean, I think that's one of those things that you always just kind of work on.
But, so yeah, I'm going to Halifax tomorrow. And I can say it now because
It'll be done,
but we're going to surprise my friend for her birthday. Well, her birthday happened, but we're flying in, and we're going to the Beaches concert tomorrow night. And
oh, that's fun.
And then I'm flying back Sunday, and then Jeanette and I are flying out to Costa Rica. So it's going to look like I'm like a fancy bitch, but I'm not.
You kind of are.
I'm sleepy. I feel like my brain needs it.
Honestly, you deserve it because you've been kicking ass for a very long time.
Thank you. I'm just going to take the compliment because I struggle with it.
Yeah, you should.
I'm learning we're doing something pretty cool.
It's not even just that. It's like all the things that have happened in the last year and a bit or whatever.
It's been a journey.
And then, planning on taking vacation, not taking vacation.
Did that in November.
Twice.
Did I do it twice?
You rescheduled this one like 3 times.
Yeah, I did. Oops. But we're going.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, I'm just proud of you.
Yeah, I think I struggle. I'm learning. I have to learn to balance work and life. Mm-hmm. And I put work first a lot.
I'm going to have them forward all of your emails to me.
That reminds me I should put an away note in my email.
And then just send them all to me.
But this week, Babs World, what's going on? In the next 2 weeks, not much.
Not a whole lot. We kind of just because you're going away on vacation, we kind of just pre-planned and you hustled.
Yeah, we're hustling to get these.
You're hustling.
We're getting these scheduled. So today is the 23rd. This will be scheduled. And then March 8th will be scheduled too.
Yeah, so we have a pretty cool chat too for International Women's Day.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
This week, we literally just spoke to him because of the time machine. Taylor Russett from The Grind. Should we tell people? I'm still unsure.
I'm sure.
He was great.
He is just a bundle of joy.
Just so happy. I felt bad because my brain kind of was it's really full of things right now. So my questions weren't processing as nicely as I was hoping, but I think we pulled it off.
I think we did okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Back to Babes World. We still have merch.
Yes, we have merch. We have toques, which is literally great for hopefully the snow that's still here on Wednesday. We have very comfortable hoodies.
And crew
necks. And we have stickers and magnets and keychains and pins.
You know you want them.
And there's a bundle discount.
Yeah, so you can get 15% off a sweater when you buy a hat with code GetItBabe, I think. I don't know. It's in the show notes.
Yeah, it's in the show notes. You can check there. If you don't know where to find it, just DM us and we'll swing it to you.
But let's get into this episode.
Yeah, let's
with Taylor.
Talk to Taylor.
Okay. Today we are talking to a Campbellford local who grew up close to Hoards Station. Yes, I'm making an agriculture reference in this intro. He is possibly the youngest guest we've had on the pod and has an incredibly impressive resume. He attended Carlton University to complete a Bachelor of Communications and Media Studies, then continued on to complete a master's degree at Queen's University in Management, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. He took the knowledge and ran. He started Russett Photography in 2016 and captures people's genuine expression from family bonds, new engagements, enchanted love, and connection, or a baby's first. In 2020, he opened the incredibly popular Grind and Vine in downtown Trenton. The Grind and Vine serves coffee and treats and dabbles in wine. The space provides a curated environment that prides itself on inclusion and accessibility. They also host one of our favorite events, Bitchin Bingo Drag Brunch. More recently, he joined the board of directors at Trenton. He brings a youthful lens and is an advocate and mentor to other local area businesses. If that wasn't enough, he also volunteers with a gift from the heart and works with the City of Quinte West Events Department to bring entertainment to the downtown core. Babes of Quinte, please welcome the fabulous Taylor Russett.
Thank you for having me on the pod.
We're so happy. You were on like our hit list.
Yeah.
Like when we first started, we were like, we got to get him.
We were at a networking event and then you're like, I have this idea. Like we want to do a podcast. And I was like, I've always wanted to do a podcast.
You should start one.
Yeah.
What would you do it about?
Like either like a coffee shop chat or like a sip and tell kind of
Perfect.
podcast,
I'll produce it
like
for
spill
you.
the tea.
Ooh, yeah, spill the tea. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like, what is
And
it?
you can talk shit about everybody.
That's all you do? You just talk shit and drink coffee?
That's what a lot of people do at the cafe, you know?
You probably
barista's
know
ear.
so much.
Oh, yeah, you definitely hear all the things. I think that's why I go to coffee shops. I'm like, what are they talking about over there? Yeah.
That's what I would do. I mean, that's why I started a podcast, so I can talk shit about people.
But then we
I
edit
don't
it out
actually
later.
think I've ever talked shit about
That's
anybody.
gonna get it out.
You grew up, when I first met you, I was like, where are you from? And you said Campbellford.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you ever been to Hoards Station?
Yeah.
And you grew up, like your family.
So my aunt and uncle own Hoards Station Sale Barn.
I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
Did
So
you
like
go
I
there?
grew up like moving cattle, working there with my grandfather. And yeah, my aunt and uncle still own it to this day. And I'm thankful that my parents decided not to be farmers.
Oh, so you didn't grow up farming.
I didn't grow up farming, but the rest of my family did. So we made the break.
There's always one in the family, I
Yes.
feel like, that does that.
Yes.
Is it your mom's side or dad's side?
It is my dad's side.
Okay.
And then my mom's side farms as well, but they're in Sterling.
Of course
So,
they do.
yeah.
Just farmers find each other. It's like Farming for Love. That's a new show.
Yeah. Ooh. Is
Yeah.
it like Love Island or
Yeah,
like
but with farmers.
I think they were
Ooh.
casting in like BC or something.
Yeah, but
I was like, so they're going to be like hipster fun farmers.
hipster fun farmers. Yeah.
NBC, I don't know. Then you got like Alberta farmers or like
Alberta farmers. Yeah.
That's next level farming because they're I could talk
oil.
about this all day. Oil. That's that oil money.
Is it oil farming? Did you farm oil? I'm from Northern Ontario. We cannot farm there.
Do you farm oil there? What do you farm there?
Gold.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like this actual, bougie stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up like Sterling, but like in between Sterling and Campbellford. So yeah.
Just living your best little country life.
Country life, yeah. I didn't even know what a city looked like until I went to university.
Yeah, did you ever like come into town for treats when you were younger?
Well, I went to St. Teresa's.
Oh, yeah.
And so like
I read that.
I had like an hour and a half bus ride every day. So to get
That's
into
rough.
Belleville. Yeah. it was
So
quite
my
rough.
partner did too because she grew up on a farm. So
Yeah.
she'd like walk up, get on the bus at like 6:30 and then
fall asleep the whole ride.
Yeah.
My body just was trained that like for the hour and 30-minute bus ride,
Yeah.
it was just asleep, like dead. And like I don't know, like I had to train that out of my system. Like every time I get on a bus, I'm just like
Does it happen in cars too or just buses?
just buses.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's like the position that you sit in when you're on a bus.
Yeah.
And you're like knees up. Yeah.
Were you the first kid on the bus?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a twin sister, so we were both
What?
on the bus.
You have a twin sister?
Yes. Yeah.
So sneaky.
Very drastically different, the two of us.
Let's unpack that. Why? How?
Well, she's very like health science related.
Okay.
She works for KGH, doing behavioral psychology, and she's taking her master's in that.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
Your
and so like
parents must
very
be-
different.
So you're both like super, like it seems like you both really love school.
Yeah, we both. Well, I tried to get it done as quick as possible.
No, I know, but like it's just
Yeah.
No, you guys are both
we've
like
had a fun time in school. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like your parents must be very proud. Like that's two very successful children.
They're they're quite proud, I'd say, and my mom helps me at the cafe for sure.
She's so cute.
Yeah, and so does my dad as well. So they love helping us out on our little passion projects that we have.
I love that.
That's so cute. Your mom was there when we came to Bingo.
Yes.
And she was just sweet baby angel, and then my mom was there just making a scene probably. Like she's a lot.
When the room's packed, it's always so much fun, and it's such an electric environment to do drag brunch. Like, and at first I was like, oh, like kind of like trying to curate this like environment of like fun and comedy as well, but now it just happens. Like we did one on Tuesday night, Sip and Slay Tuesday.
Oh my god!
And there was a lot of slang happening. We had some like 80-year-old woman saying some absolutely hilarious stuff that I cannot repeat because we said it in confidence on Slip and Slay. So
is that every Tuesday now?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna run it every couple of months. But our Sunday drag brunch is every Sunday.
Is it?
Or sorry, every month. There's gosh, that sounds.
Could you imagine?
One Sunday a month.
Okay. I'm going to warn the listeners you are on a juice cleanse right now, so we don't know what's about. You're probably delirious.
Yeah, I'm probably delirious. We're doing a juice cleanse for a friend that has a holistic nutrition business. So
I want to have her on too.
I'm like a test dummy right now. So
she's like, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
I'd be so miserable.
Yeah, juice rage.
I remember I did a juice cleanse once for 2 days, and I was so just like, when I get bored, I eat.
Yeah.
So my parents lived like by the water, so I was like, I'm just gonna go fishing. We didn't have fishing rods. I just took string down. I was like, this will be fine. It'll distract me for a bit. You started Russett Photography young.
Yeah.
It feels like. Tell us about that journey.
What inspired that? Yeah, I had this photography teacher actually that I just took the course for like shits and giggles essentially. It was an easy course to take in high school. Mm-hmm. It was a lot easier than art, and I wasn't being caught drawing. And so I had this teacher at St. Teresa's that really took me kind of under his wing and saw like an art within my art. And I shadowed him in his wedding photography company in Kingston.
Oh.
When I was like 16, 17, I guess. And he was like, like I've always said that I would never do photos professionally. Like that's how I started. I was like, I'm never going to do this. It's just a fun thing to do. Like I'm just going to frolic around and take photos of cute things, And then somebody had this crazy idea, this trust in me that to do their family portraits. And then it was a family friend of ours. And then I was like, I kind of love this. And then the same thing happened. I said I wasn't going to do weddings. And then I had a family portrait couple that was like, you know what, we're getting married. Like, would you want to shoot our wedding? And I was like, no, but
it's a lot of pressure.
Sure. Yeah, it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And like these things are held on for like lifetimes, right? Or multiple lifetimes if like they're handed down to family, right? So somebody had enough trust in me to take their wedding photos, and I absolutely fell in love with weddings and being a part of the process, and so that's why I started Russett Photography. So for me, it's more about capturing like the couple's love and connection and putting that in a portrait. And so much has come out of that business and connections, like working together with a bunch of amazing vendors such as like Holly McMurder and I work really well together, creating a collaborative photography space. And then friends like Emma's Bridal in Trenton as well, and Runway Bridal in Belleville, and a bunch of other photographers. We do creative shoots to stay creative during the year as well. Yeah.
Honestly though, like when you like, if I was photography especially, like when you have like that eye, like you've got it.
Yes.
And it's really cool that your teacher saw that in you and like helped you grow that.
Yeah, without him, like I was just texting him like last week about photography and how he's grown as well in the past 5 years as a photographer. And we were connecting over that fact and where we want to go with our photography businesses and our art as well. So it's always nice to keep in contact with, like, he was half a decade ago, he taught me about photography and we still connect today.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
I love those kinds of teachers.
I wish I had like fun classes in high school.
I have very memorable high school teachers that to this day come to the cafe and support me and
I love that.
Give me positive reinforcement on social media and stuff like that. So I had a really unforgettable high school experience that I could never trade. And I definitely feel like it fostered a lot of definitely creative juice as well as motivation and go-getting attitude that I take forth with me.
You definitely seem very driven. Like, I knew this. Well, the first time I met you in person, obviously I lurked you on Instagram prior because I was like, who's this guy? He seems fun. But you were like, yeah, I have 3 businesses. And I was like, how old are you? You are a child.
The beard tries to hide the child, you know?
Like, it's impressive and you're very positive. Like,
you have an effervescence.
Yeah.
An effervescence.
Like,
I usually say that about wine when I'm doing a tasting. like light and bubbly, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
did you do the photography business while you were in university?
Yeah. So that paid for a lot of my undergrad. And I was coming home every weekend from Ottawa, essentially, and fitting as many engagement sessions, as many family photo shoots, and then usually a wedding in between there as well. So I'd come home on Friday, shoot Saturday, Sunday, and then go back to Ottawa. And then within the week, between homework, edit, and get that out.
That's like 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah,
my face is dropped right now because my university experience is so different. I drank a lot. And do I use my degree? No,
none of us do. It's fine.
My brother has 3. They're all just hanging. I'm like,
they're just hanging piece of papers, and I don't even have the piece of papers. My parents do.
My parents have it.
I'm like, when can I claim these sheets of paper back? Yeah.
My mom tried to hand me I got a diploma in environmental studies or planning that I don't use anymore, and she tried to give it to me. I was like, I don't want this. I was like, this is stupid.
Can we please hang it in the new office?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's just funny at this point.
It's so funny. I don't use it. And then, so you went on and got a master's. Mm-hmm. Did you know you always wanted to do that, or what was?
So I didn't actually want to go for further schooling. I was trying to get out of Carlton as fast as I could, just because I had this passion to work for myself and to focus full time on my business. But it was just at the beginning of the pandemic, and things were a little bit uncertain. So I thought if I'm going to go to further education, there's probably only one program that I really want to do, and it'd be to do like a condensed MBA program. And that's essentially what the MMIE program is at Queen's. You focus on economics, you focus on business marketing and sales and all different aspects of business on a hyper condensed kind of month-to-month program. So 1 month you're focusing on sales, the next is marketing. So I said, if I'm going to do it, it'll be 1 full year, no breaks of school. And so when I applied, I just kind of applied like you do and kind of maybe hope that you don't get in. I don't know.
So what I did.
Yeah. And then I got in by my surprise and was one of the youngest persons to ever be admitted in the master's program at Queen's for MMIE. Now that's not the case, but that it was
at the time
astounding.
Well, so was
know.
It 2020?
Yes, it was.
Like, that's still like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's still very impressive.
Yeah.
My mouth is just like open. I'm just like, you're very impressive.
But what I learned at Queen's was like there's so many different ways of doing business. And as I've experienced in owning the cafe itself is there's different types of business owners, and identifying who you are as a business owner is probably what I got out of my master's the most. So I'm a very much a creative person, an ideas man, and somebody that likes to execute on that. When some people are better at the managerial side of things. So working together in that collaborative master's environment definitely brought out parts of me that I didn't know as a business owner that I would never have experienced if I didn't take that master's.
You can see it like in all of your branding and like the kind of like, what was it?
The aesthetic?
Yeah, the aesthetic, like all of the things about, I think, the grind and your photography stuff. Like I can see your personality in these like businesses, which I think is really cool.
Because probably my way of doing business is I sell myself like as part of my company.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so like Russett Photography, it's my name on the company. So you're getting me when you're photographing your wedding. You're not getting somebody else, and you're getting my eye. So I want you to know me. So like a lot of the times for my wedding customers, I'm going for coffee with them before their wedding. I'm getting to know them. I do a free engagement photo shoot to try to create that relationship, right? And same with the coffee shop. Like, I'm very much present in the front of the cafe because it's a business that I felt like we've grown from nothing to something. So I'm very much still present.
So did you start? I'm trying to figure out the timeline in my head right now. Were you in your master's and that's when you started the Grind and Vine?
So the day I started my master's was the day I started construction on the Grind and Vine.
You're like,
so
you know,
it's like a learn as you go, you know, like
learn as you go, but also educate myself along the way.
Yeah. So like half the time I was booking my employees, which my first 2 employees I will never forget, Josie and Eva, who now has her own business as well. They put up with a lot of shit because I was going through school, dealing with all the social media stuff that was happening with the cafe, and they were just kind of thrown in and trying to balance what the pandemic was bringing to the cafe and managing that on a daily basis, as well as trying to complete my master's. It was quite a juggle for sure.
Actually, that's 3 things because you opened during a pandemic.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was definitely the best way to open a food-based business. I tell this to everybody that asks me, like, how do I recreate? Because I'm doing mentorship through Trenton does a Mentor Connect Quinty program for any people that want to get into the business atmosphere or have impediments to their growth. They connect people with expertise in certain spaces. So right now I'm talking about youth getting started and that growth phase. And for me, starting was the easiest part. I had the business building owner that really trusted in my vision for what I saw as the cafe, and I went full head over heels and just opened and knew that I could just roll with the punches. I didn't have to go into debt to open the cafe, so I think that led for a little bit of leeway with being able to stay open without that huge overhead. Yeah. And a lot of the times I was laying off staff or cutting them back, but keeping them on and allowing them to try to get them to work as much as possible, because at the time a lot of my employees really wanted to work just for that social outing, right? Yeah. So I knew and understood that, which was good because I was doing my master's. So I needed to sit at a computer and get shit done.
Great, you were. I'm going to learn this. You're going to learn how to manage.
Yeah.
Oh, God. One thing, can we talk about your gayness?
Yes. Sure.
Wait, okay, I wanted to ask, though, so, like, I'm queer, but what do you identify with?
I'm cisgendered gay man.
Love it.
And the interesting story that I'll tell you that I don't think I've ever told anybody on camera is the cafe is how a lot of my family and friends found out that I was gay.
Wait, they didn't know?
It. Yeah.
Because you're super straight presenting.
Yeah, so straight presenting, you know. So that was actually how a lot of my family members, like extended family members essentially, found out about my sexual orientation was through the incident at the Grind and Find. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, did your parents know?
My parents knew.
Okay.
My all my immediate family knew, but it's my extended family that didn't know.
And so the incident, so I wrote this question. I said, you are openly gay and fabulous. Unfortunately, people aren't nice.
Yes.
And there was an incident when you first opened?
Yes, like within a few months, yes.
And so they broke the front windows.
Yeah.
Like, homophobic people were assuming.
Yeah, it was... Like, COVID was a hard time, and I think definitely, as you saw in Toronto and Ottawa, you saw a lot of heavy, like, vandalism and stuff like that on the rise. So I think it feeds out of that, is that people didn't know what to do with themselves. They were acting out, and that was a way of acting out. And out of that came so much great community orientation, and we have really rallied together. Like even a few weeks ago, I was speaking at the city council meeting due to another bill of a conversation that was had at city council, and it was nice to see so many people out supporting, and even our city councilors that really see the problem and the issue that they have in their community. And it really translated into a community that is fully embodied and embraced together as one.
Yeah.
Which is the mantra of Quinte West, if you see the sign.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all are welcome. Yeah.
Well, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Like, just like, if I had, like, I have a 14-year-old and a 3-year-old, and neither, obviously the 3-year-old hasn't come out to me at all, but if my teenager was like I would know that you have a safe spot for her to like hang out with some friends.
Yes.
You know, like, and I think that's just a very invaluable thing to have for a community. Anywhere, really.
Yeah, and like creating that space has been something that has been definitely heavily thought of by me because I want to make it an approachable space, but not an overbearing space as well. So,
you nailed it.
Yeah, good to hear.
Yeah, it is. And it is a safe space. I think that's so important. Someone who grew up not openly out in Belleville, but, you know, the community is getting better. It's growing so much on how it addresses to SLGBTQIA++ peoples.
Yes.
And that's really special. And it's nice seeing you being a part of it and standing out. And I like it. Makes me happy.
Yes.
Katie, you love the gym, right?
It's complicated. It's an on again, off again thing. And don't even get me started on my complicated relationship with food.
Well, when Holly reached out to us to start a partnership, I was kind of nervous, to be honest. However, after chatting with her and getting to know her process, I knew she was the perfect fit for us.
That's so true. She is our kind of fitness babe. Holly works closely with her clients in a one-on-one program to give them the knowledge they need to succeed in reaching their goals.
Plus, she reminds her clients and social media followers of the importance of listening to your body and understanding the power of a balanced diet and lifestyle.
If you are new to the gym or are a seasoned regular but want to take it to the next level, Holly is the fitness babe for you. Follow Holly on Instagram at fit.with.holly.a and tap the link in her bio to connect. What's my next question? Why'd you pick Quinte? Like, did you always want to come back?
So I've had a love for the grind. I actually knew the first owner of it, and as a kid, I just have always seen the grind and the way it's grown. So I had this like weird attachment to the place itself. Now, I wouldn't say Sterling and Quinte West are very different places. I love the hometown feel and everybody being very connected and as a community. I can't go to the grocery store without people saying like, "Hey Taylor, how's it going? Like how's the grind and vine?" And I think that's the part that I crave the most about living in a small community, is knowing who I'm living with in my community. And I think that's why I like usually 23-year-olds or like that's how old I am.
You're 23.
Yeah.
I feel so old.
Are moving to the city
shit.
and experiencing the city. But I have so much desire to know the people that I'm around, and that's why my community is so big, and I love meeting everybody. So
I think that is a really, not as young as you, I feel old now, but as a younger person, like
I'm gonna fight both of you.
But it is that community. Like, I guess I tried to live in Toronto, hated it. So like I moved to Kingston, then I lived in Peterborough with my partner for a while. But I always wanted to come back, and there is this like homey feel. And even with the podcast, there is this community that builds around you and supports you, and that's really special.
yes, and like my family's here, and like all my family is here, immediate and extended. So we're a very big family-based unit, so we do a lot of things together, whether it's like skiing or stuff like that. So it's nice to be very close to home. And my sister as well, she's just in Kingston. So if I was that, it would just be a little bit more inconvenient to see my family. So.
Sorry, this story is just in my head. So your family found, like your extended family figured out you were gay from you opening the Grind and Vine. I just moved in with Jeanette, and all her uncles didn't know she was gay. Like, all her farming uncles didn't know she was gay. And after, like, a year and a half of me living there, one of them asked...
As a roommate.
Yeah, they were like, why is Katie always here? And her brother had to be like, that's her girlfriend. It's just so funny. Or, like, they all just thought I was her friend that, like, lived there.
She had nowhere else to go.
I'm just a hobo, so I live here.
We just took her
and
in.
we can only afford one bed, so that's where I sleep too. It's just
That's
so funny. So what you said just reminded me of that. Like, Yeah, you guys will figure it out. Who's your biggest support in all your businesses and your adventures?
I'd say my parents, my mother and my father are my biggest supporters. They would drop everything at the drop of a hat to come help me. Sometimes I'm short-staffed, so my mom will come and serve, as you've experienced at the brunch.
She's lovely.
So I couldn't do what I do without the support of my parents, as well as just hometown family friends. The people that just stop into the cafe to say hello and buy a drink. I probably wouldn't have the successful business I do today without the connections that we've cultivated with family and friends. So
that says a lot about who you are as a person. When people especially I find when people believe in you and they like you, obviously they want to support you.
No, but I get what you mean about the community, because you're involved in, I feel like you're involved in many things. So you work with the City of Queen West to plan events. You're on the board of Trenval, so you're definitely probably the youngest person there on that board. But it does seem like you're involved in a lot and support the community, which I think then people want to turn around and support you, right?
And I think sitting on the board of Trenval too, I see that the businesses that do successful in our area are so connected and interconnected through community organizations. And I think I found that out through starting my business, that you can be as much a business owner and a business operator as much as you'd like, but that doesn't guarantee the success of your business. It's how much you connect with the people that are outside of your business. So I bought a trailer at the end of last summer to be a mobile pop-up grind and vine. And so it was, my idea with it was that I'm getting to connect with people in an environment that's not mine. So say it's taking it to the International Festival here in Belleville, or the Waterfront Festival, and kind of cultivating those people at an event that our like-minded people are at, but maybe don't know about the grind and vine. So even last night I did a CFB Trenton. I did a wine and wine and chocolate tasting, and meeting a bunch of people that are in the junior officers rank that didn't know about the grind and vine, and I was teaching them about wine, and they're like, oh, well, I'll come out to the grind and vine. This was an amazing, informative wine night, and they'll probably bring their friends and have a good evening or a date night or something like that, right?
So a networking king. That's what I'm called Katie, because
I'm a networking king?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if you think about, I think I attribute a ton of the success of this podcast on your networking skills. Because I am not a people person. I am
good at taking compliments.
I'm hang out in the corner and observe everything, and I'll just behind the scenes leave me alone. People make me uncomfortable, and
I make myself uncomfortable.
Katie's the one that's out there, and she's going to these business events. We had a thing last night.
We went to the Quinny Women in Business, setting personal and business goals.
Oh. And just in meeting all the people, and then she'll find guests and we'll connect with them on socials. And I think that's been a big part of our growth.
It is. I think when Jeanette and I were running the farm, that was my favorite thing to do. Was especially at the farmer's market, I would make all these connections. There's also so much juicy farm drama all the time, so I got to learn all. I think that's why I like networking. It's I'm what gossip do you have you can tell me? Which maybe isn't great, but and that's how I met you, was at a Chamber of Commerce.
Sharing gossip, no joking.
Yeah, we were talking shit about everyone. No. But I also think I need to get better at networking and not just going, hi, I'm going to talk to you.
But you need that. So many people I know are afraid to approach others. And I think that is the biggest part of owning a business, is even I sometimes in some environments get nervous to approach either the business owners or something like that are there. But then I just have to remind myself they want to talk to me too. It's a beneficial interaction.
Be here if they didn't want to talk to people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I think too, I don't know what I was going to say. Not happening. What was I going to say? My brain's not working today. I do apologize.
That's okay.
Okay, completely different track then. What's been the most fulfilling project you've ever worked on?
Oh, yeah.
The most fulfilling project? Definitely. Well, on a manly level, it's fixing things around the cafe. Like
Nice.
when things break, I have never been the one to have those skills of like electrical or plumbing or just general maintenance. So my dad bought me tools for Christmas. So
Just this
we're
year?
just tinkering, we're just playing around with things.
Are you just tapping wrenches on things?
Ding, ding. No. I think like that has been fun because it's not necessarily something that like is a hobby or a career or something like that for me, but it's like I'm learning these life skills in through my business. And I think that I get a lot of fulfillment from just doing the basic things rather than the high level marketing and stuff like that. That's my job. But the fulfillment I get is like the hands on the ground, like stuff at the cafe, I think.
What's your favorite thing you've fixed so far?
I fixed the sinks, which has been like a 4-year thing at the cafe. Like before I owned it, they were like bad. And I was like, you know what? They're like one of those things that I won't replace, but I'll replace at a later date. And they just kept leaking a little bit of water. Well, they were so corroded at the bottom that I literally had to take a hammer and like break this sink apart to get these
For everyone, he's making a lot of hand gestures.
Yeah, the faucet. Yeah, I had to get the faucet out of the sink. So that was a project. It took me way longer than I'd like to admit. And a lot of people in the cafe saw me do this. So
did you YouTube things?
No, I didn't want to admit my fault on that one. And here I am talking about it. But
we'll bleep it all out.
Yeah, beep, 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 beep. You would have had to do that to my YouTube video, but I got a celebratory glass of wine after. So
that's worth it.
Yeah.
I also got tools for Christmas.
Yes.
Is this a trend this year? I love this.
I was like, I want to be able to do shit around the house. And the first thing I did was tighten one of my cupboard doors.
Yes.
Because it got a little bit
You're
loose.
like just a little bit loose. You're
just
like, here we go.
And it was just a little bit too loose. And I was like, and then I shut the door and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
In true
It's a great
lesbian
feeling.
fashion, I asked for tools when I was 8 and got them.
Sick. I'm going to do tiling in the bathroom this summer.
Ooh.
I love
I'm also
tiling.
hiring Jeanette.
Yeah, you are.
Because so my sister is also gay.
Yes.
And I was talking to my mom the other day and I was like, yeah, like I'm going to, I'm going to finish the floors in the hallway and the kitchen and do the bathroom tile. Like maybe this summer, like maybe, spring, summer before it gets too hot, but whatever. And she's like, okay, well, who's going to do it for you? I'm like, I have gays. And she's like, what? I'm like, I have a lesbian. I'm like, I have 3 lesbians. Like, I am fine.
Yeah.
And
We'll
she's just
figure it
looking at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Mom, it's fine. She's like, well, how do they know? I'm like, YouTube, it's fine.
I YouTube everything.
YouTube everything.
That's how I learned to like put up drywall, electrical.
I wish I was that crafty. I don't know.
My brother's an electrician, so.
I'm a
you guys
more
need help.
design kind of guy. Like I could make the space look beautiful, but like the general how to
See, I can't make it look beautiful. I can put you up a beautiful wall that's real practical, but it's not going to look
Make
great.
me a pegboard wall.
I'm going to do our new office.
Jumbo-sized one, though.
Yeah.
I want the pegs to be like this.
Okay. Very thick.
I have a vision.
Yeah, vision.
It makes way more sense when you see it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How has the Grind and Find grown since it's open? Because now have you always done the charcuterie boxes?
Yeah, so they came out of not dining in, and it's kind of like a happy accident. I like started charcuterie boards as like this just tiny little appetizer to enjoy with wine at the cafe. And now it's grown into this, like, for Valentine's Day, we did 130 charcuterie boxes, right?
I love when you post about you have like an assembly line and then all the boxes. It brings a lot of joy to me.
It's like a factory of meat and cheese and bread. It's
Sounds
just
delicious.
What else do you need in life?
Yeah.
Wine.
And it's like an adult lunchable. So we've had a lot of success in our charcuterie boards through catering, but also through like DoorDash and online ordering. So it's something that we are here to stay, but we're doing this creative process right now with our employees and myself and an outside chef, and we're coming up with a new menu for the cafe. So
That's fun.
That's been a fun process that we've all been a part of. So
is there a sneak peek you can tell us about?
I can
like
edit it out
a
if you
smoked
want.
salmon.
Fuck yes.
Like,
sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm there.
With like on a bagel with cream cheese in the morning,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love a good smoked salmon.
Because right now, do you still have Flossie sandwiches?
Yes, we do.
So will you still have that, or will you do?
Yeah, we'll still have Flossie's. Flossie's was one of the first business connections I made with Kyle when I started the cafe. And now he's become a good friend, and I love working with him, and he makes some darn good sandwiches.
He does make some good sandwiches.
So good.
Sometimes I just like wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm craving like his like eggplant sandwich.
Eggplant parm one.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of those when I worked on that truck.
She was a fry girl.
Oh, the fries though.
I used to drop those fries, baby.
Yeah.
Just didn't but that's when he was working with like counter fryers, and we were just dropping fries, and that try's so greasy by the end of the day.
You're like sweating grease.
I was like, and all these beautiful people on like their county trips were like coming out. I was like, I'm great.
Like, hey,
Let me slick this down and come talk to you. What do you see? Because I feel like you're always growing and expanding. What is your next adventure?
I think like I've vowed to myself for the next time, like the next little amount of time, that I'm really trying to focus on like work balance. And as you've said, probably the whole podcast, that I have my hands in a lot of pots, maybe a few pans too. Like I'm
got
working
a
around
wrench
the
going,
kitchen.
you're just tapping on everything.
So I'm really trying to focus on my friendships and seeing my life outside my cafe. And I think that is where I want to see my growth, is like personal growth through that, because the cafe is doing really well. I have some amazing employees. We're just getting up to hiring some new employees for the summer. And then this post-pandemic atmosphere of summer, it should be interesting to see what a summer in Quinte West and the county looks like. So,
when did you start doing drag events at the cafe?
Good question. I think we've done like 12 drag events now.
They're so fun.
They are quite fun. We've used the same queen, Rowena, since the start. So she's a Kingston drag queen, kind of famous because she's the first queen to be on a LCBO can of beer. And
so
it's like the wheat something.
The cream of wheat.
The cream of wheat, yes.
And she's just, her comedy and performance level is unmatched.
So good.
She's so good. Okay, so she does this one song, Celine Dion song.
Yeah.
And it was on last week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, she just performed it on Tuesday.
So I'm watching these queens perform this song on Drag Race, and I'm like, fuck that. I have seen a better performance of this song. So I Instagram storied it, and I'm like, I hope you screamed a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
But, like,
and you know the story that went along with that song too is Rowena performed that in Napanee, and then like Celine Dion's cousin or something like that was at that performance, and I was like, my heart would absolutely quiver.
Yeah,
like
I'd be like,
I would die a little bit inside.
just a little bit.
You've touched Celine, like
you peaked at that moment, and
the Kingston. Like, does Belleville have a drag scene? Or,
yeah, there's a few drag shows in Belleville. Yeah.
But yeah, Kingston. I remember I was at Queens when I feel like the Kingston drag, like younger queens were coming up. It was so fun.
To be honest, I gotta admit, I've never even watched Drag Race.
What?
What kind of gay are you?
I know.
It's embarrassing.
I know.
Okay.
But
He's
it's
busy.
an attention span thing for me. Like, I just can't. I need something with a plot.
There's a plot. There's so many plot. There's so much plot.
But you go to like drag shows.
I do go to drag shows. And so I only really went to my first drag show in last year university. So, and then made it a part of my business. So
I love that.
My first drag show was at The Grind.
At The Grind.
Yeah. With my sister who worked at the Lookout in Ottawa.
Well, I that's where Lookout was where I found out about drag, and it was,
I think
Adriana Expose was on the stage, and I was like, "What is this? This is so cool."
I think there's like, I don't know why, as a gay person, I'm like, drag just like opens my heart. Like the energy queens bring to the stage, and that openness. I was in Ireland with my whole family. I like smelt out the gay bar. I was like, we're going in, family. I took my whole family and we watched drag. People were hitting on my brother. I was like, this is great.
Like, this is a great environment.
I was like, is everyone having fun? Like, it was such like, it's just so, and so I love that you're bringing that to the cafe.
And I think music too. Like, I feel like a lot of like queer culture is surrounded by music, and so I think that itself in drag is so energizing. Like I know, like last performance on Tuesday, I was like, "Can you play Rihanna? Can you do Rihanna for me?" She wouldn't do Rihanna for me. So,
Rude.
I know.
Calling her
Also,
out.
when we were at Drag Bingo, a police officer came in to use the bathroom and everyone was like losing it because like she was putting on this show and then a cop walked in. We were like, is he part of it?
Every show, like I genuinely just have a little bit of worry every drag show, and it's not to do with anything like the people that are in the room or anything. There's always one variable that just goes like off the charts crazy.
Oh, she almost bumped all the wine glasses off the day we were there.
Yes, yeah.
And I think someone was like,
I'm just like, what? How can one person just like be this? Like, it just the variables that
they need
go into
chaos.
this. They need chaos tattooed. And so the last brunch too, she was outside in the street dancing in a snowstorm. Like,
I mean, that checks out.
I was like, checks out. But yeah, the cop, that's happened 2 or 3 times actually. They come in for coffee and then
they got a drag show.
Into the drag show. They're like a supporting actor at that rate.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
so
I think my favorite thing about drag is I have like big sads a lot of the time. And it just brings me like a comfort and a joy. And the fact that I know that we can go for brunch and I can feel that, happy, warm fuzzies and, it's just nice. So thank you.
Can we talk about the snappy machine thing you have?
Yes.
So did you add, that's part of Russett Photography now?
Yes, it is.
So cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little photo booth. And I was at a wedding in Toronto, actually, and I saw this photo booth. I imported it from the US. And it's so fun and interactive. So I've done like a few corporate events, corporate parties, and then weddings specifically too. So it's going out for International Women's Day on March 5th.
Cool.
So it'll be at the Loyalist College for the Shark Tank. So it's cool to see that because it's fun and low intervention photography is what I call it. So like a lot of people don't like getting their picture taken, but they're more than happy to approach a photo booth and take photos with friends. So it's nice to get those photos as well.
It's like kind of like a selfie.
Oh yeah.
It's like a pose like selfie, but you don't have to like be awkward about it.
Great quality.
Yeah.
And it's branding.
And it's branding. So.
We love
branding moment. I took advertising in school, so like that's like my whole jam. I'm like, can we brand it? Like, how do we?
Yeah, so like you can even like ask questions to the user, and like you have like
lead generation.
Lead generation and all this stuff. So so a lot of big companies it's the same photo booth that Kim Kardashian used for her birthday and did the glam like black and white glam look.
And now everybody wants
it. So
and you have it,
I have it.
But I have it
in Trenton. So like we could be doing some Kim Kardashian style parties, but I got the photo booth.
Should we?
Is it my weird fantasy that I kind of want to do like a black tie,
I think
like
no,
super glam cocktail-y event?
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I literally dress shop for this event that doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist.
And I'm like, I would die for some sort of like, because I watch the Kardashians religiously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's a baby shower, but like
that's a baby shower. Maybe you could have like a black tie baby shower.
Yeah.
I want a reason to have a flower wall. I want a reason to like, get completely bougied out for no reason, but to maybe drink too much wine.
Yeah.
And
sparkling, of course.
Yeah. No, and it has to be in a pretty glass.
Is that what the Kardashians drink?
I don't know. I feel like I was just like thinking the champagne one with like she's pouring the
champagne. On her booty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my vision of an event that doesn't exist. But I think I'll help.
That's been in my dreams. Yeah.
I like this idea wheel we're on. What would you tell a young person getting into business or wanting to start a business?
Network, but mentorship. I think mentorship is a big key to success. My mentors, I had 3 that I kind of talked to the most when I was starting out. And they'll tell you the brutally honest truth. And sometimes that's what you need to hear when you're in business. You can only see so much because you're working in the space. Even today, like my mom will tell me things that like I didn't catch, right? Like either on our social media or at the cafe, I missed something. So I think having that outside knowledge of either the industry or somebody that you think has a good eye for your work, it will really help you grow, especially as a young entrepreneur, because a lot of them are starting with not very much knowledge in the space, right? I had 0 food-based knowledge. I didn't even work at McDonald's before I purchased the Grind and Vine.
So it was just like, it's for sale. Okay, I want that.
Yeah.
I have a vision.
I had a vision without the execution, but we made it work, right? I learned the skills that needed to be there.
One of those things, it's like, just do it. Like, just jump in, be fearless, and just gotta hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
I think, though, too, like, having a mentor is so important. And so many people I've met in Quinny have business mentors, and I didn't realize that was a thing. Because when we were running the farm, there was we were just making it up as we went and hoping for the best.
Yes.
And now when hopefully we farm again and have a farm business, I'm like, oh, we should have a mentor explaining to us who's done it before and can guide you on that path.
Yeah. And like seeing success, I think too. Like one of the biggest things when I got started was there was nothing in Trenton necessarily, like in the food space that was new and thriving. Like everything there is old standard. Like Tomaso's has been there for so many years, and they're like holding together Trenton's food space essentially, and the evening atmosphere that's in Trenton. Without Tomaso's, there would be no evening traffic in Trenton. So I think starting the cafe, I knew I had something to grow off of. But even today, like I talked to the counter that just opened up down the street.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to know that there's people that are wanting to open up these other businesses that are kind of working off the idea that you once had too. So.
Well, if one of you succeeds, you can all succeed.
We are all,
yeah. It's like, I think that whole assumption of if you're succeeding, then I can't succeed. You can all succeed at once.
Yes. And I think that's a very old style mindset in business, is that everybody's competition. But like, I feel like my thought process is everybody, like we should be collaborative and everybody should be working together.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I worked together with all my neighbors when I started the cafe and networking and that kind of thing. And none of them seemed our competition to me. Like I have an art gallery across the street and people always ask me, they're like, oh my gosh, so the art gallery opened up across the street. I'm like, yeah, and I'm a big customer. Like like they do so many great events and they do live music and we need more spaces to open and to have that confidence to open to
be willing to do it.
Yeah.
Downtown Belleville is, I find, kind of the same situation right now. It's like, okay, so Capers is open at night, and then like what else?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that the little anime shop, Doki Doki, she specifically opens on Sunday. She's like, nobody else is open on Sunday. She's like, why am I not open Sunday? So she opens on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, building, it's like having the confidence and, the guts to be able to just like.
And that's creating that collaboration too, because I think the county does it quite well on the collaboration style of business, because they're closed on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So,
really?
Yeah.
A random day. I love that.
In the food industry, because your lead up to the weekend is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Some people take an extra long vacation. So like having those dialogues with fellow business owners, I think has created that Wednesday food industry break, right?
That's what I realized when I blacked out and went chaotic earlier in this. That was what I was thinking about, how when you start a business, people normally want to help you and are willing to answer your questions for the most part.
Even with the podcast, it was like we were asking our coworkers to be our first guests.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, like, can we do this?
Also,
like maybe we can do this.
We were like, we're not a thing yet, so we had no one willing to like come talk to us. So we were like, hey, Emily.
Hey, let's interview you.
Yeah,
on the desk.
Paul Ferguson, please sit down.
Oh yeah. He's a great one to interview.
Oh no, he was fun.
Yeah.
That was another.
He has so many good stories. I keep telling that man, I'm like, you need a podcast of all like the stories of the people he's met and the adventures he's been on with radio, country radio, because there are some things that people don't know that are incredible. And I'm just like,
I want to do like the back life of radio, because people think radio's dying, but joke's on you, it's not.
It definitely isn't.
No.
And I was just thinking about, what was it yesterday? Oh, we were talking about libraries
I
of
love
all
libraries.
things.
Love libraries.
And it was a conversation between three people in the cafe, and then I was just listening, and then I chimed in, and they were saying how like, oh, like it's hard to see like libraries that aren't as many people, and she's like, I said they're quite innovative actually, because this lady was telling me that they have like Wi-Fi routers that you can like rent.
You can rent.
They
so
have
many
like
things.
3D printers, and crickets.
Yeah, like that's innovation. Like a library I would have never seen as that.
No,
yeah, it's like
so
a maker
cool.
tools. So if you want to, try something but not necessarily dish out $400 for like a cricket, you can go to the library and just try it out.
That's good to know because I've always wanted a cricket.
I have one downstairs.
We have one. We'll bring it to the cafe.
If you want to borrow it though,
I tapped on the table.
You're done. Get out.
You're welcome to borrow the cricket.
We'll bring it to the cafe and do crafts.
We'll do crafts.
Yeah. Do you have
a craft
anything?
night?
Oh, you should.
Can we have a craft night?
Ooh, yeah.
A Stitch and Bitch?
Ooh. That'd be good.
I like that.
We're going to change up we're going to do it.
I'm also just going to bring a microphone.
What else do you need?
Podcast.
You sit with your tea or your coffee and you stitch and you just chill.
Yeah, we'll do it. I've always kind of wanted to do like a knitting day.
I love knitting and crocheting.
Yeah.
That's like my jam.
That's one of those weird things that I do know how to do is how to knit.
Really?
4-H taught me that.
No, you did.
It was like a competition with my sister too. Be like, who can get? She always got.
What did you show?
She finished the scarf, and I'd be like 3 rows in, and I'd be like, I'm done with this thing.
Oh, that's what Jeanette does. I'll be like crocheting, and then she'll start and get frustrated, and she's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
What did you show animals in 4-H?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what this is.
4-H is like young agriculture.
Yeah.
You show animals, and then you like people brush their cows and wash them and blow them out.
We did a baking one where we made brownies. I just vividly remember the brownies weren't good. But now I own a cafe and we make brownies.
And they're good.
And they're pretty good.
Katie's a brownie connoisseur.
I love brownies. Whenever I come to the Grind and Vine, I get the it's like the triple chocolate brownie. I'm like, I'm going to need one of those to go. And I'm going to eat that later. No, 4-H. My niece started. It's actually now it's Clover Buds because she's in the pre-4-H. She shows a lamb.
Nice.
Blow dries that bitch. That's it. Fancy.
Yeah. You can add some glitter.
Wait, you can add glitter to them?
Yeah, people like shine their cows. And they're like
glittery cows
spray you put on them to
what the fuck? I want to go to this.
Oh, have you? I feel like I have to take you to a fair. Like it's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and when you show your animal, you have to wear all white.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you know why?
No, I don't.
That seems really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Because you're just gonna get. Would you not just get dirty?
I don't know. I'm usually dirty, so.
White scares me. So.
I'm like newly into white clothing.
Yeah, that's a very nice white knit sweater you have on. Did you knit it yourself?
No, I didn't.
Maybe next time.
Do you have any
shout outs like of things coming up, people you want to shout out, anything?
My shout outs. I feel like I've been shouting out little like businesses throughout the whole thing. What is the Grind and Vine? We're very excited for summer. I'm like already channeled for like patio season. So we're having a very different look on our patio, some major styled events that we will be doing on a monthly basis. So if anybody is interested in our social media and keeping up with the events that we do, it's at the Grind and Vine, and our social media will give you all the updates you're needed. And as you probably saw, like we're working on some fun reel content too.
Your reel of you working out with all the things in the
all the things in the things. Yeah.
I literally died. I was like, I can't anymore.
What my employees get me into is I
like that you're into it. I try to get people into reels here. They're like, no. I'm like, fine.
I think it helps though that you kind of like understand why you do those things. It's like, it feels silly, but it's kind of fun.
It feels silly. I did it in front of the cafe and everybody had a ball watching me to record this reel, right?
Yeah.
And then like for me, I'm like not necessarily my product is in it, and it's not like I'm pushing like, hi, this is Taylor from the Grind and Vine, and this is our new coffee of the week, and it has this in it, because I feel like that's what a lot of people do for sales and marketing, but it's just being visual.
Yeah,
and that's like the biggest thing for me in social media is I don't overpower. I don't post every day. I don't post every hour or whatever. That like a lot of people worry about.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of people worry about keeping up on a regular posting, but I said it's more about what you're posting and the quality of it. And being visible and making it relevant to the people that you're posting rather than quantity. So,
fully agree.
Yeah.
Snaps for that. Well, thank you.
This
was a joy. You brought me a lot of joy today.
Well, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Or whenever this is going to air. I don't know.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
And it's the 1st of March, too.
Woohoo!
That was amazing. He's so tall.
So tall.
I knew he was tall, but... So he told me he was 6'6", and I'm 5'4", so he's like over a foot taller than me.
Isn't that like, that's really tall.
It's really tall. And I think so when I saw him today, I was like, you're so tall, because I just feel very small. But and like my brother's
nice.
tall, but not that tall. So it was just like I was like taken back by his beautiful height.
So nice.
He's so nice.
And like one of those people that is very like I feel like the last time machine wise here is we did an episode with Alyssa from Nomad Creative. Then we had Mops, and then we talked to Taylor. So it's like these three very confident business people.
Yes.
And I just like, I don't know if it's like sparked something in me, but I feel like the fire in my gut. And I'm like, I want to do all the things and like build something. And I'm like, I think that they're giving me kind of like that drive and the inspiration to kind of like, just do it.
They make me want to too, because they all talk about networking. And as you said, I was a network king. I'm like honored. I love networking, and last night I did, because we're in a time machine. Last night I was at the Quinny Women in Business, and Marg Hatchie was talking about personal and business goals. And I've always been nervous to set goals because I'm scared of failure. But I think it just really, just all these things are kind of like lining up that, okay, I want to like work on my goals and work on myself and work on networking. And Belleville and Quinny and Trenton all have amazing networks and amazing business people in them that are willing to chat with you and support you. And even in this podcast, I feel so supportive that people are even taking the time out of their day to come talk to us for an hour. Yeah.
And it's just like, we have such an incredible business community.
Yeah.
And I just want to be part of that more.
Yeah.
And I'm admittedly very bad at the networking thing right now because social anxiety.
But I think that's fair. Like even yesterday, I was having one of those days where just like nothing was going the way I thought it was going to go, and things just kept coming up. And I was like, like the last thing I wanted to do was go to that event. And then I went, and you know what? It actually like brightened my day because I got to hang out with Jenny and Stephanie and Chantel from Trenton, like just all these like really cool people.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
I think my biggest regret is not going, only because
your child's still not sleeping.
I went home and I fell asleep, and then I woke up at like 27 after 5, and I was like, I literally don't even think I could move if I wanted to because I am so tired.
I think sometimes you have to know what you have the capacity. I think we talk about that a lot, having the capacity for things, and sometimes it's just not the night, you know?
Yeah.
But there'll always be networking events. And
I think I'm just like, I'm so hard on myself about that, but then I'm just like, oh, right, I have 2 children. I am also
so busy.
in school.
Yeah.
I am all, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm not saying those things to brag, but like, I mean, somewhat little brags.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's a lot. And I'm just, sometimes I bite off more than I can chew.
Yeah.
And sometimes I hit my limits. And
I think too, short weeks are always hard after a long weekend.
Yeah. Short weeks are tough. No sleep is tough. The transition is really hard. I feel like I've been having this conversation a lot lately with specifically Kat.
Yeah.
Is like just like transition and change, and not even like just growth, personal growth, and like how friendships change, how relationships change, how like, and how to, you know, overcome that and grow. I
think one thing too for Jeanette and I coming to Belleville is it was not planned.
Yeah.
It was kind of out of our control, and it was done in a messy way. And I think that it took me longer to heal and get used to it because it was so sudden. And like, for instance, we just like settled some things up about the farm. We're like selling the rest of the buffalo, the rest of the buffalo are going in March. I don't feel like I've really had a disconnect from it yet because there's still things we've been having to figure out.
Is the buffalo the last thing?
Yeah, and like we're still keeping Tipsy Willow going because like I think one thing I learned with my goals is in the next 3 years, like we want to buy a farm, and I think farming will always be a part of our life, which is why now I'm like talking about it more on the podcast, even in this episode with Taylor. Like and maybe there'll be more things coming this Tuesday. Maybe I have to talk to some people, but it's and yeah. So I am healing. I like today. I know I'm manic, and I think it's because there's just like so many things. My brain is moving really fast, and so I'm a little bit manic. But I recognize that now in my life. So
that's kind of like the self-awareness is like a really good thing to have.
Well, because what used to happen when I would get manic is because I do feel really good when I'm manic, and like I can get so much done and blah blah blah. But whenever I would get manic, I'd be like, things are going too well, something bad's about to happen. And it's because I was about to go into like a downward spiral. But now I've learned to like catch myself and be like, okay, I'm manic, which means there may be triggers that are about to make me very, very, very depressed.
Yeah.
But I can catch it and be like, okay, we don't need to self-sabotage and like give myself alcohol poisoning and die. Did that one. I didn't die, but like I did give myself alcohol poisoning.
So yeah, just don't
do that.
Don't do that in Costa Rica.
No, I won't. Okay. Well, but Taylor was a joy. If you haven't been to the Grinding Vine, I'm assuming everyone has, but if you haven't, go. It is. You can pick up coffee to go. You can drink wine. You can eat delicious brownies. You can get glossy sandwiches.
Charcuterie that look like roses.
You can order online.
It's honestly just such a great space. And like, you just feel like there's those spaces sometimes it's like you walk in and you just kind of feel like it's comfortable and homey. And I feel like I feel like that's what the Grinding Vine vibe gives me.
Yeah.
But like
whenever I'm in Trenton, I go.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Like I can't leave without going.
No. For that triple chocolate brownie.
Do many things for brownies.
Well, happy first of the month. Happy March. I feel like we're on the countdown to spring. Is there anything else we need to talk about in this episode? No. The Babies of Quinny podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool 100, and InQuinty.ca.